What an amazing main event this has already been.
That's right, baby.
Come on. As day 7 continues, the final table is now within sight. But this is no time to rest on your laurels. This is the time to seize the moment, to build on your family's accomplishments.
Let's go.
And continue an historic run.
Definitely gonna play my heart out. Like, I got this far.
To forget about the past and focus on the future.
I'm 10 times the player I am since last year, and I'm here to win it this year.
Easy game, boys.
To take all those chips you've accumulated and turn them into a pile of money.
You get a lot of chips in the main event, everybody wants a piece of you.
To look around at the few remaining players and recognize that this is an opportunity that may never come again.
Very cool.
Day 7 of the main event rolls on. Welcome back to the World Series of Poker presented by Jack Link's Beef Jerky with Norman Chat. I'm Lon McCarran. As day 7 continues here at the Rio, only 56 players remain, and the ever-shrinking field contains several familiar faces as well as some former chip leaders, including Danish bracelet winner Theo Jorgensen, who's second in chips, Filippo Candio, the animated young Italian, who's third in chips, and 23-year-old pro Matt Affleck from Seattle. Over at table 2, and at our feature table, it's chip top 5 in chips. And at our feature table, it's chip leader John Racner, bracelet winner Hassan Habib, and the debonair Tony Dunst, along with Swedish pro William Thorsen. And watch out, Michael Mizrachi has joined the table.
This table just keeps getting easier.
You dropped some or what?
I lost a lot.
Indeed, Grinder's chip stack has been greatly reduced. Good news for the rest of this table.
While Michael has been leaking chips so far here on day 7, William Thorsen has been holding steady, but that's good enough for 7th place.
The resplendent Tony Dunst is well below chip average at the moment, but at least he looks good. I wonder if he buys off the rack.
Chip average right now about 3.9 million. There is your tournament leader, John Racner, with almost 10 million on the Jack Link's Beef Jerky Pocket Cam. Ace 8 off.
On his 21st birthday, he got 3rd place in his first ever live event, the World Series Circuit main event in Atlantic City, and then he won that event the following year, beating November 9er Eric Buckman heads up.
Racner from Under the Gun +1 raises to 140,000 to Hassan Habib. He folds. Now to Dunst, 9 deuce. And he'll lay it down over to Swedish pro William Thorsen with a couple of 10s.
You want action? This man will give you action. He loves the gamble.
140 even or?
Born and still lives in Sweden. Thorsen with the call. Corey Emery sloppily folds and drops a 10 on the pocket 10s of Thorsen.
Thorsen thinking, hey, buddy, keep your 10 off of my 10s.
Over to Mizrachi. Michael looks down at King Jack in the small blind.
These days, it seems that I spend more time with Grinder than I do with my own brothers.
Grinder makes the call for 110 more. Dewey lay with the ace queen of spades.
First time I saw the ace of spades line, I was maybe 8 or 9 years old, and I just fell in love with the card.
And it's stuck with you all these years. Lay makes the call. 4 will see the flop. Thorsen with a pocket 10s. Lay favored with the ace queen of spades. Here's the flop, and there's a 10 along with a king and a 9. Thorsen hits the case 10 for a set. Lay with a royal flush draw. Mizrachi bets 300,000 with top pair and a gut shot. Lay makes the call.
If I were him, I would announce I have a royal flush draw. I'd be tickled pink.
He calls. Racner lays down. Now to Thorsen with that unlikely set of 10s.
Well, with flush and straight draws on that board, I don't think he's just going to smooth call with this set.
Thorsen does raise it up to 975.
He didn't want to commit a million chips.
Mizrachi.
And, Grinder's not sure if he wants to commit any more chips. It was a good-looking flop for him, and Grinder let out. Man, you've got to like Thorsen's look.
Grinder with top pair and a straight draw. Wondering what Thorsen's up to. Grinder gives up his hand.
Solid, disciplined laydown from Grinder.
Now to Dewey Lay.
Lay definitely getting the right price to chase his draws.
Draw of draws. He does make the call for 675 more.
Boy, if I could borrow Thorson's face, it would do wonders for my social life.
All right, so heads up now to the turn. Deuce of hearts, Thorson, almost a 3-1 favorite now. Lay got no help.
Check.
He checks.
What do you think? 30 big or?
Got like 5 million behind.
William Thorson
About 2 million.
puts the heat on. 2 million.
And now the price is getting steep for Lay with just one card to come. He is getting 2.5 to 1 on a call. He is a 3-1 dog.
It's a sick bet.
It's sick, Lon. So sick.
Dewey Lay squirming under the pressure of William Thorson.
That was the sickest draw ever.
How can you have the sickest draw ever? It should be Queen Jack of Spades, right?
That's pretty darn close.
Jack 8 is no good.
Yeah, I know.
It's okay if you call now when I know what you have anyway.
Dewey Lay retreats, and Thorson will take the pot.
Set of 9s or set of 10s I gave you?
Can I see the river card? Or?
Dewey Lay asking what the river would have been. The official turns over a jack. Lee would have made a straight. Wait, that was actually the burn card.
Well, they're not supposed to do this.
Latre would have been the actual river card.
That was a river card, bro.
100%.
Oh my God. What?
Wow.
Dewey Lay really put through the ringer on that hand, while William Thorson stacks his winnings in what is proving to be yet another lucrative main event appearance. Norman, making it deep in the main event is challenging enough. Doing it multiple times is even more difficult. We have marveled through the years at repeat performers like Dan Harrington, Greg Raymer, and Mike Matisow. And this year, we have a couple of players experiencing deja vu all over again.
Lon, I give you Matt Affleck and William Thorson. Affleck was among the chip leaders late last year, and after crashing into his own failed bluff, he was gone in 80th place. Thorson made an even better run in 06, and after crashing into eventual champion Jamie Gold, he was gone in 13th place. Well, Affleck and Thorson both are back, each hoping to take care of some unfinished business.
Thorson said it took him a long time to get over that 06 main event knockout, but he has recovered nicely. Out in the field, Thorson's good friend, Norwegian pro Johnny Lawton, in the blue hoodie, is still enjoying his best ever main event showing. Much more stressed is Pascal Lefrancois, who's at risk with pocket queens, trying to double up through fellow Canadian Jonathan Driscoll and his pocket jacks, with the turn card coming. The turn card. 5 of clubs, Lefrancois still good.
Driscoll's family owns an apple orchard in Quebec, but an apple a day won't keep Pascal away. Only a jack will do that.
It's a 10 on the river. Lefrancois doubles up to almost 9.4 million. Driscoll takes the hit.
What a windfall for Pascal Lefrancois.
And with that double up, the bracelet winner is now a top 5 chip stack on day 7 of the main event. Nearby Italian pro Filippo Candio with ace-king called the pre-flop all-in of Jared Ingles holding jack 10 of hearts. The flop is 8-8 ace. Ace is up for Filippo.
Ingles, you may recall, used to haul hay for a living.
Ingles pairs his jack.
Ingles needs another jack.
River card is a 10. Candio with aces and eights, but it's Ingles who is the dead man in this main event. He goes out in 56th place, wins over $138,000. And Filippo Candio quietly becomes the chip leader.
You're the one that got that round penalty yesterday for screaming. That was you? Yeah, you're screaming.
Filippo had to sit out a round of action after a day 6 outburst, but he's being much more subdued here on day 7. The only ones that have perhaps been noisier than Filippo, the Mizrachi cheering section. They're back and forth.
When the Mizrachis finally leave, I can't tell you how many room vacancies the Rio's going to have.
All right, action back to the feature table where Michael Mizrachi is sitting. Blinds at 30 and 60,000. Tony Dunst with ace-queen.
He was his high school self-appointed bookie in Madison, Wisconsin.
And he's going to raise it up to 135,000. Thorson also with ace-queen.
I'm sure Thorson would have been one of Dunst's customers if they were in homeroom together.
He repops it to 415,000. Mizrachi with the pocket tens now.
And the grinders always like to gamble, too.
And Mizrachi with a re-raise to 915. Back to Dunst now.
Man.
Too much gambling for Tony Dunst, I think.
And he lays down his ace-queen.
2.5 more.
Yeah, 2.5.
Back to Thorson now.
And how much is this? Mullen.
Thorson re-raises grinder all in.
Thorson loves to apply pressure, and the year of the Mizrachis might be flashing before Grinder's eyes.
So now a huge decision for Michael Mizrachi. Does he want to risk his main event life and perhaps a share of the Player of the Year title?
No, they can fold this now. Not good enough. I don't think you have aces.
Grinder's right about that. Thorson giving away nothing.
What a moment for Grinder and the entire Mizrachi family.
Grinder's got two problems here. One, figuring out William Thorson's hand. That's tricky enough. Two, deciding whether he wants to put his main event on the line. Chances are Grinder's either crushed by a bigger pocket pair, or he's up against a hand like ace, king, or ace, queen, in which case he's just a small favorite.
Of course, we know Grinder's in better shape than that because Dunn's folded an ace and a queen.
As a rule, Mizrachis tend to think better when they're standing.
Give me 1 minute.
Michael understandably needs a little extra time for this one.
Well, Grinder knows if he folds, he's still in comfortable shape with about 60 big blinds, but a double up here would make him very comfortable.
William Thorson, so difficult to read.
Time, please.
And Thorson calls a clock on Grinder.
He now has 60 seconds to make his decision.
Mind the clock.
Tick-tock, tick-tock.
Does Michael want to risk having it all come to an end right here, right now?
Got a really big pair.
He lays down the tens.
Show me kings.
You can pick one.
It's going to be an ace probably.
Which one?
Take the front one.
Yeah.
And William will take the pot.
Show me queens. You might have ace, queen, and diamond.
Pretty good guess.
Michael trying to get a peek at the cards as the dealer shuffles them.
You don't do that, John?
I do.
Yeah.
Michael gives up almost 1 million chips. Another bold move by the Swede this deep in the main event against a strong player, and he continues to set the tone at this feature table.
The World Series of Poker, presented by Jack Link's Beef Jerky. Main event.
Back to the Rio where Peter Jetton was caught making an audacious pre-flop million-chip bluff. Doug Palovich called with ace-queen, and unless Jetton gets lucky with his 9-5 off, he'll be left with just 15,000 chips.
From the small blind, Jetton decided to try to pick up the blinds and antes, and now he may pay the price.
Trip queens for Palovich, and the turn card has Jetton drawing dead. Palovich with the double-up.
This will be exciting.
Jetton with 3 orange chips left.
And 2 will be for the ante on the next hand.
It's half of what I started the tournament with. That's right. And I have 2.3 million now, so
Half of which were just Peter Jetton's chips.
I'd say Peter's options are severely limited at this point, Norman.
Boy, your analysis is almost as sharp as mine.
All right, let's get over to table 2. Joseph Chung made a pre-flop raise with king-8 of clubs. Alex Kostritsin with 8-7 of spades. And Gabe Costner with ace-jack of diamonds called. They're going to the flop. It is 9-6-7. Costner favored with a flush draw and 1 over. Kostritsin with a pair of 7s and an up-and-down straight draw is best. Chung also with an up-and-down straight draw. It's check to Chung. He bets 240.
The worst hand fires out.
Kostritsin now with the best hand.
I like this guy's game, and I like the cut of his jib.
He makes the call.
Look at that jacket. Was Gabe Costner Harrison Ford's stunt double in Indiana Jones?
Costner check calls for 240,000. Turn card now. 10 of diamonds. Costner hits the nut flush. That also gave a straight to the other 2. Costner slow plays his flush. Joseph Chung now. Checks as well.
He'll sit on his straight.
Kostritsin. Not going to sit on it. 825,000.
Can't blame him.
Out of Costner with the check mark.
He's a former day trader and financial advisor.
Reaching for some of the big chips.
1.8.
He check raises to 1.8 million.
It's now the Temple of Doom for somebody.
Joseph Chung. Next to act with his straight.
Chung knows with his straight he could be drawing dead. And that is indeed the case.
What a laydown by Chung.
Chung does the right thing. Not as easy for Kostritsin to do the right thing. He just committed 825,000 chips.
Alex says, I believe you, and he lays it down.
Gabe Costner still does some day trading, and that was a good deal right there for him.
He's now a top 5 chip stack in the room. Let's get back to the featured table where one of the main event's best performers this year and last has taken a seat. Matt Affleck with his nearly 7 million chips now sitting in.
Boy, Affleck, Mizrachi, Thorson, Dunst at this table. A lot of active, aggressive players.
Thorson with ace-9.
130.
He's going to raise it up to 130. To Michael Mizrachi now. Grinder looks down at 10-8 of hearts.
You always want to be to the left of aggressive players. Grinder very happy he's to the left of Thorson.
Grinder comes along. Affleck with queen deuce. Will not be in this hand.
Racner working the gum.
Trey, deuce of diamonds. He's in the big blind. And he will call.
Racner and Grinder are very flop-mistic.
3 will see that flop. It is ace 8, 10, 2. Diamonds, Mizrachi with bottom 2 pair. Racner with a flush draw. Thorson got top pair. Racner checked. Thorson bets 225.
Grinder loves that flop, and he probably hopes that ace hit Thorson because then he's got him on the hook.
Mizrachi with 10s and 8s. Makes it $500,000 to stick around.
Now the diamond draw for John Racner.
And that goes into the muck. Back to Thorson now. William Thorson makes the call. Michael says, thank you, William. Turn card. Deuce of spades. Mizrachi still ahead. Thorson checks this time.
Grinder loves this spot.
$1 million.
$1 million from Michael.
2/3 the pot. Well, I don't think Thorson puts Grinder on a better ace, and Grinder didn't raise pre-flop, so he's not going to put him on a big pair.
Michael would love to get some chips back.
If I fold, you're going to show me a queen as well.
But I'll probably show you a jack.
That's what I'm thinking. That's what I have here on the queen jack. I feel so bad folding this. You have your king jack.
Thorson doesn't want to let it go.
He flashes an ace and folds. Some theatrics from Michael.
Wait, I can pick one.
I'll tell you later. I promise I'll tell you.
What type of deal is that? He showed you one.
You made a good fold.
Good fold for who? Good fold for him.
After a slow start to day 7, Mizrachi is chipping up. He's working his way back to $5 million, and that's good news to him and to his wife, Lily.
Come on, Lily, you can smile.
Grinder's not the only one with a good woman on his side cheering him on. There's Ben Stotts, boyfriend of Katie Lederer, who's the sister of Annie Duke and Howard Lederer. She's been supporting him here. Stotts watching someone who could really use some support. Josh Brickus all in with ace-6 against the Jack-10 of Jerry Payne.
Brickus has a fiance. Where the heck is she?
One time. I got to use up my one time right now, I guess.
You haven't used it yet?
All right, there's the flop, and there's a jack for Payne to put a hurt on Brickus.
Brickus all but out of here now.
Turn card is an 8. Brickus gets no help.
Brickus has to have an ace.
The river card is a tray of clubs. Payne wins the hand. Josh Brickus knocked out in 55th place.
I wish him good luck if he goes through with that marriage next month.
So with Brickus out, there's a $30,000 pay jump for 54th place, and that will be just fine with Peter Jetton, who's all in with Jack-10 of diamonds against the ace-king of John Dolan. Jetton all in. Here's the flop. There's a king for Dolan. Jetton does pick up a straight draw. The deuce on the turn is no help.
Jetton's got to have a 7 or a queen.
The river card, 6 of clubs. Dolan with his pair of kings knocks out Peter Jetton.
Hey, good luck, man.
Dolan takes in Peter Jetton's chips. Not much to take in.
Peter left quite an impression on this main event with the now famous button. Peter learning about the pay bump to almost $169,000, and that puts a nice button on Peter Jetton's main event. Welcome back to the Rio, where Peter Jetton was just knocked out in 54th place.
I can't complain. It was an unbelievable World Series. Great experience. My deepest run in this event, so I'll be back next year to crush it.
My Peter Jetton button will be found on my mantelpiece right next to my I Like Ike button and my limited edition Howard the Duck button.
To a short stack, Jason Sentai. Facing a raise, he decides to re-raise all in for his last $780,000. Evgeny Schneider makes the call. Ben Stotts lays it down, so Sentai at risk. He shows ace-queen, Schneider king-queen.
Every year, Lon, players seem to go out most often with ace-king or ace-queen.
All right, here's the flop. Sentai at risk. 5 tray. Sentai breeze a little easier now.
Yeah, well, ace-queen is looking very good right now.
The turn card. A jack of spades. Sentai's still good.
Sentai looking to dodge a king to double up.
The river card is a queen that pairs both players. Schneider thinks he's won the hand, but actually it's Sentai who will score the double up.
I'm a little confused there. Yeah. Like, how am I reading this incorrectly?
Jason Sentai graduated at the top of his high school class and summa cum laude from the University of North Dakota. I, on the other hand, barely graduated.
Suntai up to almost $1.8 million now. Got some work to do, though. Back over to the featured table where the Mizrachi faithful still in the stands, supporting brother Michael. Grinder on the uptick recently.
When I go to the bank here, Lon, everyone in line in front of me is a Mizrachi.
Action on Tony Dunst. Dunst looks down at Queen 4.
I wouldn't mind seeing Smooth Operator get some cards.
Dunst will sit this one out. William Thorson, the active William Thorson, with 7-6 of spades.
5 career cashes at the World Series for Thorson with one final table.
He limps in for $60,000. Over to the Grinder. Ace 10 off. Michael saying, whatever you can do, William, I can do. He limps in to Matt Affleck. Ace King of Spades.
After his heartbreaking exit last year, Matt says he wants to win the main event more than anyone in the room.
No limping here. A raise to 230.
And Matt this year more composed, more mature than he was a year ago. And of course, he has me in his corner.
And he's bettered his finish from last year, as you promised his mom. Thorson calls for $170,000 more.
Oh. It's going to get me in trouble.
Michael folds Ace 10.
Grinder playing it very close to the vest, no?
So heads up, Thorson and Affleck. And the flop is Jack 9-10. Affleck with a Broadway draw. Thorson with a gut shot to a lesser straight. He checks.
Bet it, Matt.
No, he doesn't.
All right, just check.
Turn card is another 10.
Grinder wouldn't have been in trouble if he had stayed. Trip 10s.
Check.
Thorson checks again.
Bet it, Matt.
Matt will not bet it.
All right, just check.
River card is an 8, and Thorson hits his straight.
I take it back, Lon. Grinder would have been in trouble.
William Thorson now reaching for chips. $210,000.
Oh, jeez. Is my godson reaching for chips?
He is. And that's more than $210,000. A raise to $775.
Boy, I hope Matt's mom is not watching. Your son's on his own now. Sorry, ma'am. Affleck trying to bluff Thorson off the bottom end of the straight.
Thorson looks a little uneasy. And he folds his straight.
Oh, it worked. I knew it would work. That's my boy.
Matt Affleck with a bold move on the river to win that pot.
Thorson's wondering, did I just get swaggle-foosed?
He did. All right, let's go back out in the field and check in again on Thorson's good friend, Norwegian poker pro Johnny Lawton, facing some pressure right now. 2 raises in front of him. Matt Berkey, the original raiser. Then it went over to Michael Wyrot, who re-raised.
Wyrot, one of the 3 players who still can beat Joe Cato's record as youngest main event champ.
Lawton is in the big blind, and he'll lay it down. Berkey gives it up, and Wyrot will take that pot. So both Johnny Lawton and William Thorson hit bumps in the road, but what an amazing trip this main event has been for them so far.
I met Johnny first time in Stockholm around 2003. From the beginning I thought he was a little bit arrogant and this young kid, but realized very fast that he was a very good player and also a very good guy.
He's a little more cocky than me. He's always trying to show up, but he's a good guy. We're very close friends. We haven't never cashed together actually in a single tournament. Every time I cash, he busts, and every time he cash, I bust.
I think we both have a great chance of making it deep.
Now we can discuss our play and how to do and what the strategy is.
I mean, I learned a lot from him. I think he learned a lot from me.
Of course I'm gonna win, but he can take second.
I mean, I wish we both go to the final 2
and then take a really nice party after.
If those guys go heads up, it could be over in one hand. They have so much gamble in them. Remarkable to friends still here on day 7.
So Norway and Sweden represented. Now former chip leader, Danish pro Theo Jorgensen faced with an 875,000 chip river bet by Soy Win. It's an ace-high board with flush and straight possibilities. They're waiting on Pascal Lefrancois. And he reluctantly folds. Jorgensen gives it up, and amateur Soy Win will collect his winnings.
Soy from Southern California. This is his first World Series cash ever, and he is making it count.
Action over to Ben Stotts now, who started the hand with about 4 million chips. He just called the 1.3 million chip all-in. from Chris Bolt, who holds ace-king. Stotts with queen 10 of spades.
Queen high.
Okay, talk to Phil Hellmuth about it.
He must hate me for something I did in previous life.
Well, I hate Chris Bolt's behavior right now. Maybe Stotts made a questionable call, but you don't parade around like King Lear.
Bolt still ahead with his ace-high.
Bolt's still okay, but still a bit bothered.
Turn card. 4 of spades. Bolt squirms a little bit as Stotts picks up a flush draw.
Yeah, Stotts now can knock out Bolt with a queen 10 or any spade.
Bolt, the Nashville poker pro, enjoying his first World Series cash, waiting on the river. And the river card is a spade, and Stotts rivers the flush to knock out Bolt.
Well, Stotts sends Bolt out on a tough note.
He caught lightning on the turn-end river, and that makes his girlfriend Katie Lederer very happy, while a most unhappy Chris Bolt deals with the elimination.
I feel badly for Bolt. I'd feel worse for him if he had handled himself a little better.
Shake his hand or just leave him alone.
Stotts does feel sympathetic.
Nice Sam. Nice Sam.
Stotts taking the high road.
Good game, man.
Ben Stotts going over to console and congratulate Bolt.
Played really well.
We are now one player closer to the final table.
Shut the up.
A clearly agitated Chris Bolt has his high hopes dashed by an unlikely fall of the cards, and the defeated walks away in anguish. Back at the Rio, just 52 players remain. Let's get back over to table 2. Joseph Chung in a classic poker matchup, Norman. His 10-8 of hearts against the tray of spades of Evan Lamprilla. All right, the flop is ace-4-9. Chung with his 10 high is a winner so far.
Lamprilla, one of the 3 players left who could still beat Joe Cata's youngest champ record.
Lamprilla checks.
Lamprilla says, you want it, you take it.
Chung was the original raiser pre-flop, and he's telling Evan, I might have an ace, 150,000.
He says, I do want it, so I will take it. Lamprilla, a marketing student at the University of Windsor.
And he raises it to 420.
Lamprilla with the big-time read, he'll bang back with nothing.
Joseph re-raises all in.
Chung pushing Lamprilla all in about as casually as if he's buying a quart of milk. And that will be that.
Oh, Lamprilla does fold. Wow.
Right read, right move, right time.
Joseph Chung wins the Battle of Wills with Evan Lamprilla, and that's a strong move from the young player who is in just his 2nd World Series of Poker.
3 years ago, I probably didn't know what a small blind was. 2.5 years ago is when I started seriously playing online, thinking maybe it could be a possibility for a future career. I just played some home games with my college buddies and started playing online, sit and goes and whatnot, $5, $2, and then I kept playing until now. It makes it easy. I wasn't sure how deep I would actually go, and I was chip leader at my table every single day. It was probably about the 6th day when I was chip leader the whole tournament where I really felt like I had a shot. It does feel nice to have a giant mountain of chips in front of you. You got like 500 behind it, right? The more chips you have, the more pots you can play, the more pressure you can put on players. I watched the main event on TV for years, and last year was the first time I played it, but now that I'm actually deep in this, it just feels so surreal. It's more money than I can ever imagine.
At last year's World Series, Chung failed to cash in 9 events, but this year he won a circuit event and is having a very solid run here.
Here are the top 10 chip counts. Chung currently in 7th. 3 players in the 10 million chip club, now led by Gabe Costner. Condio right on his tail. Affleck up more than 3 million on the day. Over to Canadian pro Jonathan Duhamel. He's all in pre-flop with ace-king. He was called by Rob Pisano with his pocket 6s.
I run really good at flips. Yeah, me too. All right, well, it's going to come ace-king 6 then, I think.
Pisano was a day 6 chip leader. He dealt a big blow to Johnny Chan before Chan went out.
Here's the flop. 7 tray jack. Pisano and his 6s are still good.
It's coming.
Duhamel thinks it's coming. It's got to come soon.
6 on a turn.
Turn card. That was a 5. Pisano thought it was a 6 for a second.
Duhamel needs an ace or a king or his main event journey is over.
And the river is a king. Duhamel finds life on the river, and he's still in this main event.
Duhamel never budged an inch like he knew it was coming.
Duhamel waited until the last second for that double up. He's up to 3.6 million, about 600,000 below the chip average, and still in the running for that championship bracelet. Time now for the Jack Links Beef Jerky Wildcard Hand.
America, I am taking applications for a wildcard hand assistant for next year.
A scary thought, somebody training to be another Norman Chad.
Good for you.
Action on Corey Emery. From under the gun, he looks down at pocket eights.
Security guard in Southern California.
Emery limps in for 60,000. Mizraki with ace-9. Michael folds.
Grinder playing close to the vest. One limper usually leads to many.
No other takers so far. Folded over to Tony Dunst in the small blind. Tony with queen 10. And for 30,000, he calls.
And he puts on his uniform.
Now William Thorson in the big blind. Here we have a Scandinavian Jack Link's wild card hand.
If I could think like him or look like him, I'd be a rich man.
And he checks his option.
In the big blind, I'll put him on a couple of small cards.
3 will see the flop. Trays 6 tray. Emery with 2 pair now. 8s and trays. Dunst first to act. Checks his queen high. Now Thorson. 100,000.
Maybe he's got a 6 in his hand. Maybe he's got a flush draw.
Emery with his pocket 8s comes along.
I don't think Thorson would have bet there if he hit trips. It's either 2 small pair or a heart draw.
Dunst folded, so heads up. Emery and Thorson, 10 of hearts, 3rd heart on the board.
Security guard likes gum.
He's got a close eye on Thorson. Thorson checks. Emery.
Security guard checks his cards again.
And he checks.
I guess Thorson could have checked a flush there, but I've got him on 2 small pair. That's my story, and I'm sticking to it.
River card is a 9 of spades. Emery with 8s and trays.
That card does not change anything anywhere on the globe.
Thorson.
Oh, here we go.
He's got chips. 450,000.
A pot-sized bet making it look like a bluff. And in this case, Lon, I believe it is a bluff. I trust my read.
Emery makes the call. Thorson shows queen 9 of hearts. He turned a flush to win the Jack Link's beef jerky wildcard hand.
Looks like I should be working in security. I'll see if Corey Emery has any contacts.
Corey may be getting back to his job soon if he keeps losing chips like that.
Easy game.
Thorson is making it look easy, building his stack and becoming a force on day 7 of the main event.
The World Series of Poker, presented by Jack Link's Beef Jerky. Main event.
Let's get over to table 2 here at the Rio. Chip leader Gabe Costner with ace-king called a pre-flop re-raise for almost $2 million to put Redmond Lee at risk with pocket queens.
Big race here for 4 million chips.
The flop is 5-6 deuce. Lee and his queens still good. Turn card is a 9. Lee hanging on.
Ace on the river.
Costner needs an ace or a king to knock out Lee.
The river card's another deuce, and Redmond Lee scores a double up. Lee goes right through the tournament chip leader. He's up to over $4 million now. And Redmond Lee also has a woman here to support him.
Take it outside. This is a card room, not a sock hop.
Out into the field once again with 25-year-old pro Johnny Lawden waiting for the turn with 28-year-old pro Matt Berkey. Jack, deuce, 10, 2 hearts on the flop. Here's the turn. It's an 8 of hearts.
Lawden prefers high-stakes cash games with the main event's $9 million top prize is high stakes enough for him.
He checks that 3rd heart on board. Berkey from Las Vegas. That's it, 510,000.
Berkey played baseball at Gannon University in Pennsylvania. They always have excellent middle relief.
Lawden makes the call.
The pot is building, Lon.
All right, the river card now. 5 of diamonds.
Both seem rather unimpressed by the river.
Lawden did check it. Berkey checks. Lawden says, I got jacks. And that's the winner.
To the second feature.
And Johnny Lawden on the verge of excitement.
So Johnny picks up a few chips there. Back to the featured table and a look at the newly designed World Series bracelet. Only Michael Mizraki and Hassan Habib at this table have won a bracelet. On our FullTiltPoker.net tournament ticker, you see of the 56 bracelet winners that started this main event, only 5 are left remaining in the field. Scott Clements, the only multiple bracelet winner left. LaFrancois and Mizraki won their first bracelets this year.
And of course, the Grinder won that bracelet in the 50K Poker Players Championship.
You busted me in one of the big scoops this year.
Oh, did I? I swear I was playing all the scoops, and I was playing in a private game, in a big PLO game. Like 6
Like laptop on a table or something?
Yeah, they're like all pissed off. Like,
yeah, you had to be on tilt with the hand we played.
push the raise button until they fold, right?
Play Omaha.
Automatic.
Lauren, I don't know how they can concentrate playing online and in a live game at the same time. I can't even change lanes if the car radio's on.
Tony Dunst with ace-5 off. We'll put those into the buck. Over to William Thorson with ace-5 suited.
I'm telling you, Lon, that hair on my head makes me a social force.
A raise to $130,000 from the Swede. Michael Mizrachi with Queen 9.
Grinder hides his head of hair, so I think I've got him covered.
He sits this one out over to Matt Affleck in the big blind with King 10 off.
Matt thought he might never get this opportunity again after last year's blow-up, but bang, here he is again.
That is amazing. He makes the call and will go heads up with Thorson. Ace 8-6. Thorson hits top pair. Affleck checks. He missed the flop.
He can check for me anytime. I love that motion.
Thorson with the aces. $160,000. Matt Affleck with King High makes the call.
Affleck playing Thorson out of position with no hand. I guess I gotta let him play his game.
Turn card 8 of spades. Thorson with aces up gets the check mark. He also added a flush draw.
Here comes the Matt Affleck Express.
With the paired board, he bets $360,000.
Thorson thrown by that bet, a bit flamooshed, I think.
Reaching for chips.
Actually, it looked like he was going to raise, and he looked over to Matt to see if he can get a reaction out of him.
Thorson just with the call now.
Boy, he keeps looking at my guy Matt. Now he's just a kid with a dream.
River card now. 4 of spades. Thorson improves to the nut flush.
Such a fine line between the Matt Affleck Express and the Matt Affleck train wreck.
$800,000 from Matt.
I'll raise to 2.
Thorson's gonna pop it up to $2 million.
Well, William Thorson is driving this locomotive, and I believe Matt Affleck can go no further.
William Thorson, as he is wont to do, puts the heat on his opponent.
I hope Matt Affleck can go no further.
Should be a pretty sick call.
I'm sick just thinking about it. I'm like the kid's guardian, and I just want to go out there and drag him away before he makes this call with King High. It's just an awful read on Thorson.
I call.
He makes the call.
Show 9-7.
Oh,
No, it's not 9-7, Matt.
That was a $2.6 million chip blow up, and now I've got to call his mother.
Matt lost over a third of his stack, making Thorson the new chip leader with almost $12 million. And for Matt's sake, I hope he learned enough from last year not to fall off the edge again. Now it's time for Straight from the Pros, brought to you by PokerStars.net. Dennis Phillips had another deep run in last year's main event, only to find himself on day 6, seated next to a familiar face from the year before.
I'm at the feature table with several notable people. Look down and you get one of those hands you love to have this late in the tournament.
He looks down at pocket aces.
I almost never limp with aces simply because I don't want 4 or 5 people calling. Peter came along and so did another gentleman. So we had 3-way action. The flop came down. First player checked. I checked. Peter makes it 105. First player then folded, which is what I wanted. I'm able to just smooth call that to see another card. It was definitely trapping. Turn comes down. It is the 9 of clubs, so it's 3 clubs on board. At this stage, I don't put Peter on the club. Peter takes another stab at the pot. Now I have a decision to make. If I'd have bet on the turn, if I'd have bet on the flop, he would have been gone. I think I got the maximum value out of it.
Dennis Phillips played it beautifully.
You have to play your table. You have to play your position. You have to play your chip count. Peter's taken a lot of chips off me in the past, and I really didn't mind getting some of them back.
Back inside the Rio, just 52 players remaining. Chip average over $4 million. William Thorson, our new chip leader, with nearly $12 million. Right now, Jason Sentai all in again, this time with kings against David Assoulin's jacks. All right, now the flop. It is 5. King, an instant double up for Sentai.
Flop quads. It's a turbo hand, no turn and river needed.
Even Assoulin laughs at that. Sentai with a double up. He started the day under $1 million, now up to almost $4 million. What a moment for Jason Sentai, flopping quads to stay alive, and now he finds himself climbing the leaderboard here on day 7. Over at table 2, former chip leader Joseph Chung watching on as a $7.3 million chip pot is up for grabs. Alex Kostritsin all in with pocket kings. Bryn Kenny has ace-queen of hearts and flopped the nut flush draw. Turn card is a tray of diamonds. Kostritsin still ahead.
King of hearts, not good anymore.
Kenny can still knock him out with an ace or any heart other than the king.
The river is a heart. card. Kenny Rivers, the killer flush to send Alex Kostritsin to the rail.
Until the very moment he just got knocked out, I would have thought Kostritsin had a decent chance to win this thing. When it ends, it ends.
The 23-year-old Kenny from Long Beach, New York, now with one of the top 10 stacks in the room. Huge pots like that will soon become the norm as big stacks clash and the field condenses. Back to the featured table.
I'm telling you, Lon, Kostritsin was impressive. Thorson and Tony Dunst are impressive. So much young talent left in the field, and everyone just one tough beat from oblivion.
Tony Dunst folds. Folded around 2. Michael Mizrachi. Grinder looks down at Queen Trey and lays it down. Now to Matt Affleck. Ace 4.
The question now is, how will Matt react to the Thorson misstep? Last year, after he lost the chip lead, he was in a rush to get his chips back and ended up bluffing all in with 10 high on a 9-9 deuce flop. He says he's learned from it.
No action before Matt, so he raises from the cutoff seat to 180,000 to Racner with Jack 8 of clubs.
I like Racner, but if he comes to my house for dinner, the shades have to come off.
He calls from the big blind.
And no chewing gum in my dining room.
6-9 ace, couple of clubs. Racner with a flush draw. Affleck hit top pair.
Matt reminds me of Jackie Gleason in The Hustler. He'd move around the pool table like a dancer. Matt is just as nimble at the poker table.
After Racner's check, Affleck bets 250 with his pair of aces. Racner comes along.
Racner reminds me of a guy in sunglasses with chewing gum who I'm not going to let into my home.
It's a queen of spades on the turn. Affleck is still best. Racner picks up a gut shot straight draw and checks again. Affleck checks again.
Oh, how I love the way Matt checks.
Matt gives the free card. No club on the river. Matt dodges disaster, and with aces up, he has the check mark. Racner checks. Matt now.
Look at how he moves.
Matt's going to bet it. 575,000.
How much that?
That's 575,000 more than you're going to put into the pot, my shade-wearing, gum-chewing friend. The pot's about to be ours, Matt.
And Racner does lay it down. Affleck takes it.
Back on track, but I've still got his mom on speed dial.
Matt right now just a bit above where he started day 7. He does have some makeup work to do after that big giveaway to William Thorson. That hand was a pretty good start. Welcome back. We're down to our final 50 players here at the Rio as James Manning is knocked out by Sergei Rybachenko in 51st place. Rybachenko picks up chips. He's still below average. Elsewhere, David Baker is all in again with ace-king of spades. Evgeny Schneider only with ace-9 of diamonds.
Well, the wrong guy's standing up, but Baker figures he's sticking around.
Poker pros Greg Mueller on the left and Ray Henson cheering on Baker. The flop now. Queen 5-6. Baker's ace-king is still best.
Baker's safe.
King close.
Isn't that a jinx situation?
Somebody owes somebody a Coke. All right, Baker at risk. Turn card now. Is a 4 of hearts. Baker 1 card from a double up.
Schneider needs a 9 for the knockout.
The river card is a tray of clubs, and Baker doubles up again to almost $3.7 million. Baker and the fabulous Baker boys like that.
You know, for David Baker, that is excessive celebration.
It is. David Baker continues to hang around. Back to the featured table and our tournament chip leader, William Thorson, looking at the tail of the tape, brought to you by the official WSOP game. Play now on Facebook. Thorson has been quite active. He's voluntarily played in 10 of the last 29 hands.
And Thorson proven it's not how many pots you win, it's how much you win in each pot. In the 6 voluntary hands he's won, he's plus 10 million, far exceeding the damage in hands he's lost. No wonder he's a chip leader.
And 2 former heavy hitters at this table trying to replenish their stacks, Affleck and Mizrachi. And if they want to make a withdrawal from the big stack, well, lucky for them, he's here. William Thorson, the chip leader on the Jack Link's Beef Jerky Pocket Cam with ace-king.
As you might imagine, he doesn't read poker books. He just goes with his instincts.
And he likes to raise it up, and he does here to 200,000 with ace-king. Mizrachi is hung with Thorson a lot when Thorson's in the pot, but Mizrachi will fold that 9 tray. Dewey Lay says no thank you. Folded over now to Tony Dunst. He's in the big blind with ace-queen.
Bad time for ace-queen. And Dunst only with 23 big blinds left.
Tony, who's going to play?
Raise. Make it 1 million.
I'm all in.
I call.
Tony only had 75,000 more. He just wanted to see 1 million. So Tony at risk. He needs those ladies that were helping him earlier.
Oh, they saw Justin Timberlake in the lobby. They're gone.
All right, we'll see if we can slam out a queen.
So Thorson, the chip leader, trying to get stronger.
Did I take you out in 2006 as well?
No.
Okay, that's good.
Thank God. I actually got this in the reverse in 2006 and lost.
Both of them cashed in 06.
So I guess the World Series owes me one.
Maybe next year, huh?
I don't want to see Tony Dunst leave, but if he loses, this is how you leave, with a smile.
All right, the flop now is 7-9. Thorson still ahead. That's a big black hole for Dunst.
Dunst 198th at the 06 main event. Thorson was 13th.
Another 9, a trickle of hope for Tony.
Shut up.
I don't mind. It's okay, you're a nice guy.
With a deuce or 7, they would chop. With a queen, Dunst takes it all. Otherwise, he's done.
It's a king, and Thorson with kings up eliminates Tony Dunst in 50th place.
He was a delight, and he won enough money to maybe buy me a couple of suits.
Almost $169,000 for Tony Dunst.
He dresses with class, and he exits with class.
Good luck, guys.
Another strong run for Tony Dunst. William Thorson has been a force here on day 7. He seized the chip lead and continues to gather momentum. And with one more elimination, we are now down to our final 48. Wow. Filippo Candia and Joseph Chung are lurking just behind William Thorson on the leaderboard, but for one-time chip leader Tony Dunst, tonight was the end of the line.
It's a good experience, and if I get a chance to run deep again, at least I'll, have been through it once before.
After up and down days so far, Matt Affleck's chance at redemption and Michael Mizrachi's chance at history both remain alive. Next time, as day 7 continues, we'll get down to our final 27. For Norman Chat, I'm Lon McCarran. Thanks for watching the World Series of Poker.